T-minus 30 seconds. T-minus 20 seconds. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
I don't have to tell you things are bad. Everybody knows things are bad. It's a depression. Everybody's out of work or scared of losing their job. The dollar buys a nickel's worth. Banks are going bust. Shopkeepers keep a gun under the counter. Punks are running wild in the street, and there's nobody anywhere who seems to know what to do, and there's no end to it. We know the air is unfit to breathe, and our food is unfit to eat. We sit watching our TVs while some local newscaster tells us that today we had 15 homicides and 63 violent crimes, as if that's the way it's supposed to be. We know things are bad, worse than bad. They're crazy. It's like everything everywhere is going crazy, so we don't go out anymore. We sit in the house, and slowly the world we're living in is getting smaller, and all we say is, please, at least leave us alone in our living rooms. Let me have my toaster and my TV and my steel-belted radios, and I won't say anything. Just leave us alone. Well, I'm not going to leave you alone. I want you to get mad. I don't want you to protest. I don't want you to riot. I don't want you to write to your congressman because I wouldn't know what to tell you to write. I don't know what to do about the depression and the inflation and the Russians and the crime in the street. All I know is that first, you've got to get mad. You've got to say, I'm a human being. My life has value.
The images coming out of yesterday's earthquake in Haiti are stark reminders of the deadly earthquake a decade ago in Port-au-Prince and of the failures that have still not been resolved. Jonathan Katz is a journalist and author of The Big Truck That Went By: How the World Came to Save Haiti and Left Behind a Disaster.
This was exactly what I have been afraid was going to happen, essentially, for the last 11 years, that another similar magnitude earthquake, this one actually seems to be somewhat bigger, would strike essentially in the same spot, and that the results would be the same. The good news is, in relative terms, that this one seems to be, the epicenter was about 60 miles to the west, and so the cities that were affected were quite a bit smaller than Port-au-Prince. But the images coming from Mackay and Jeremy and other places on Haiti's southern peninsula, they all take me right back.
Why is it that it was and is so difficult for Haiti to recover from natural disasters, and especially the big quake?
I mean, it really goes back to Haiti's history with the outside world, with its region, It's a relationship of predation, of interference, of exploitation. After the 2010 quake, looking back on it sort of in the years immediately following, my main take was that the moment that the quake hit was too late. That the preparations needed to be in place before, that the money that had been taken from Haiti needed to have been returned before, that the Haitian government needed to be in a strong place in which it could respond, and that it was too late. And the last 11 years were a period in which some of those things could have been improved, and instead all of those things got worse, and here we are.
We're also at a time when the government is still relatively unstable. We just had an assassination. A new leader's come to power. But what are you most concerned about, especially as the world may line up to try and help again? Again, I know that there are always promises and commitments to help, which is very different from what money actually shows up, and which is also very different than what money actually shows up on the ground and affects people.
Yeah. So look, in the immediate term, there are immediate needs. I think talking to my friends and my contacts in Haiti, the need for medical supplies and medical personnel in places like Le Cai and Jeremy are paramount. In the medium term and the longer term, I hope that this could be an opportunity to not repeat the same mistakes of the past. That earthquake recovery and response is not done to Haiti, or as was often the case in 2010, in Haiti's name, but actually just give money to Haitians, just put money in individual Haitians' hands so that they can make the decisions that they need to save their own lives and the lives of their neighbors. And just not use this as an opportunity for international posturing and advancing other political projects.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Global Watchman News, exposing satanic world government. I hope you guys are all doing well. I want to take this opportunity to welcome everybody in the chat room. If you are in our live chat, please remember to keep the chat family friendly. There will be moderators to make sure that we stay within the terms of service put forth to us by YouTube, so we can continue to use their platform to bring you shows like this. If you're new to the channel, welcome. Hit that subscribe button, hit that bell so you know when we go live. I'm going to try to get through tonight's presentation without breaking down. And understand that this is very emotional for me, because over the course of the last 6 years, I've come to know the Haitian circumstances. Dave went down, I'm not sure what year he went to Haiti, but he went with a ministry, pastor that was taking a bunch of people down there on somewhat of a humanitarian mission. And he completely and utterly fell in love with the country and with the people. In 2010, when the big earthquake hit, you guys will remember that there was a huge worldwide humanitarian effort, or so we thought, sent to Haiti to help them recover and rebuild. And unfortunately, that never happened. In 2010, the Clinton Foundation was a huge financial, and I'm using air quotes here, supporter of the Haitian relief efforts. For some of you that don't know the history of that particular organization that went in there, Haiti is an island in the Caribbean, or Caribbean, however you want to pronounce it, that shares space with the Dominican Republic. Haiti being on the west side of the island and the Dominican Republic being on the east side of the island. And during the tumultuous times, complete and utter chaos, as you can imagine. A third world country having a devastating earthquake the way it did, and depending on support from the world to assist them. Clinton Foundation went in and took advantage of that. Completely and totally took advantage of the entire situation. During the time that they were down there, there was a woman, her name is I can't think of her name right now. Anyway, she was arrested trying, I'll think of it in a minute. She was arrested trying to smuggle 33 children out of Haiti and into the Dominican Republic to be taken. She was arrested. Laura Silsby. I'm sorry, her name was Laura Silsby. Laura Silsby was arrested for child trafficking at the time. And a Clinton Foundation attorney fought her case. And she is now the head of the Amber Alert system here in the United States. Nothing like letting the fox guard the chicken or the chicken coop, let me tell you. So what happened was they raised $500 million. They took $500 million from good-hearted, caring individuals and went down there and built a couple of houses and called it a day. If you travel down there, when Dave went down there in, I can't remember what year it was. Actually, no, it was after that. But the Catholic Church, there's a cathedral there in Port-au-Prince, and the Catholic Church couldn't even be bothered to go in and fix the roof. The Catholic Church has so much money, blood money. If they didn't want to do it, all they had to do was on one Sunday, just one Sunday, take up a collection, a special collection for Haiti, and go in there and rebuild their cathedral. They never did. They never have. And unfortunately, the same thing is going to happen this time. Guys, these people have nothing. They are a third world country. They live off the scraps of what other countries throw them. When Obama was president, the people of Haiti cheered because they thought, finally, we have a black president, and finally, maybe he'll help them. He did nothing, just like the Clintons did nothing for these people. Absolutely nothing. Children go hungry in that country. There's videos online where you'll see that they make dirt cookies, guys. That's what they eat, dirt cookies. I mean, can you have anything less than these people have? And now they're going through it again. Over 700 people this morning when I got up had perished. Right now it stands at 1,200. And they await international help to come and assist them. They just had, like you heard the guy say, they just had an assassination of the president. They're trying to put in a new leadership, which is chaotic enough without a national disaster. And to kick them in the teeth even more, there's a storm headed their way. There's the Ventusky map. The storm is Grace, It's been downgraded, I believe, but it is still headed directly forward. Now, I'm going to show you on this map. Here is right here in the middle of the map. Move it down in the middle. You'll see this is right here that I'm circling. This is Haiti and the Dominican Republic. Let me see if I can get this off. Hold on a second. Here we go. So here is, you see Dominican Republic. Here's Puerto Rico over here. Dominican Republic, Haiti, Cuba. Okay. This little arm that sticks out was where the epicenter was. It wasn't quite at Port-au-Prince. Port-au-Prince is at this little, let me pull it up here for you guys. Sorry about that. Right here is Port-au-Prince, you can see. And here in the town of Jeremy, or I don't know what it's called, Jeremy. And then over here is Lakai. These are two of the ones that were hit the hardest. Port-au-Prince was the one that was hit in 2010. So I had someone ask me a question on Facebook as to ley lines. Now, I'm not sure if you guys know what a ley line is. A ley line is made up of various kinds of energy. Whatever kinds are more prominent in the ley lines, its properties, they're what they are is they're the pulse of this world. And I'm going to pull this up. And I know, guys, please don't get on me. I'm really not in a mood let me just pull this up first to show you where the epicenter was. You can see that. So I'm going to pull up a picture and I'm going to show you. These are ley lines and they encompass the planet. Whether you're a flat earther, whether you're a globe earther, I don't give a crap at this moment right now. Please, if you get on me, you know, I'll boot you out of here. I'm not in the mood. But you can see that these each one of these lines is a ley line, and you can see that they intersect at certain points around the world. And if you're not looking, or if you've never researched ley lines, it's a phenomenal topic, a research project for you. A lot of these places along where these lines intersect, they're called hubs. If you notice down here off the east coast of Florida, you will see a hub. That happens to be the Bermuda Triangle. If that gives you any idea what these ley lines are. Stonehenge is built on a ley line hub, or a ley line. I'm not sure if it's on a hub, but it's on a ley line. The Egyptian pyramids are built on ley lines. Down in Peru and in South America, we have the pyramids that were built on ley lines. We have all of the Marian apparitions throughout modern times have been on ley lines. The Catholic Church has built all of their Catholic cathedrals on top of ley lines. Not only that, the Mormon Church has also built their temples on ley lines. If that gives you any indication of anything, it's anciently known. But what I found quite interesting is Debbie, a friend of mine, Debbie, was talking to her, and she asked me about the ley lines over Haiti, and I said, I really don't know, but I went and I looked, and let me pull this up. Here's a closer picture. It's a little bit blurry. I apologize. I tried to get it so it wasn't so blurry. Well, actually, it looks like you can see it pretty well on your end. I'm looking on my phone. You can see it. Lo and behold, there is a ley line that comes directly off of the Bermuda Triangle hub and goes right across, completely right across this little arm down here where the epicenter was. Which I thought was quite interesting. So let's just go over here. I looked up in the Bible. I looked up a specific verse that I wanted to share with you guys. It's in Matthew chapter 24. In the Bible, in Matthew 24, the disciples are asking Christ, the Messiah, what signs do we look for to know when you are returning? And he gives us a sign of these things. So in Matthew chapter 24, verse 7, this is what Christ says. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. And there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in divers places. So I looked up what the term divers meant in the Bible, and this is what I got. The phrase divers places just means many different places. So I looked up on my RSOE map, the event map. This is what it looks like, guys. Put it out a little bit for us. Each one of these little bubbles is an event that has been reported to the RSOE website. And as you can see, let me pull it in a little bit more. What a earthquake symbol looks like, which is this heartbeatish red kind of symbol. This line right here where you see that goes up to the Gulf of Mexico, this is the tropical depression that is going to hit and go right over Port-au-Prince, right over the place that's been hit. Over the past, okay, so I've been utilizing the RSOE map for a number of years. Literally, like I've told you guys on more than one occasion, I get up in the morning, I come downstairs, I get my Bible, I read that for a little bit, I drink my coffee, and then I go in and I start looking at I look at the RSOE map. I look at the live cyber attack map. I look through my news feeds, through my Google news feeds, through my Apple news feeds, and then I go to Facebook, and then I start my Facebook. I start by answering messages that have come through. So I have been utilizing this map for, I would say, 6 years, roughly. And I want to tell you guys that I have never seen so many events let me pull it up here. At one time. In the last 48 hours, okay. In the last, because this goes from the 14th, 15th, not even 48 hours. Not even 48 hours. We have had 212 earthquakes worldwide. We've had them up in Russia. We've had them in here in the United States. We've had them Australia. There's been all kinds of them taking place in the last 24 to 48 hours. Let me check something real quick. Europe, Africa, China, Russia, Alaska was hit by a 7.0. And this map will tell you, and I'm not going to go through all of them. I'm just going to like kind of show you here, but Russian Federation 5.0, Japan a 4.0, Haiti 4.0. This is an afterquake. Pacific Ocean a 5.0, 5.3. Here's Haiti again with an aftershock. Haiti again with an aftershock. And these are all separate events. These are not the same event. These are all separate. Okay. Haiti, another 4.0 aftershock. Haiti, another 4.7 aftershock. Haiti, another 4.0 aftershock. 4.0, 4.0, 4.0, 5. Oh, sorry, that's Peru. 4.0s. And it gives the time that these come through. These three right here were literally minutes apart. 6:23, 7:01, and then it stopped, and then it went and it stopped and hit another one at 7:01. There was one at 3:27, another one at 4 o'clock, both 4.0s. 5.0 was hit at 3:24. Here we have Haiti again, 5.8, 5.0, 5.0, 5.0. More for Haiti. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them in a row. Ranging from 4.0 to 5.2. Here's the initial aftershocks for Haiti: 4.0, 5.0, 4.0, 5.1, 4.0, 4, 4, 6. These right here: 4.6, 4.0, 4.2, 4.0, and then here we have the 6.9 off the Gulf of Alaska. And then we have right here is the main one that struck 7.5. But look at, guys, they had 4 aftershocks directly after the 7.5 that were 7s and 7.2s. So this initial energy release wasn't sufficient to break the fault lines. So it erupted, erupted again 4 more times, 7.0s, 3 of them, and then 7.2s. And then we have 2 more for the Gulf of Alaska, 6.9, 7.2, or 6.97, 6.0, 6.4. Now, I'm not going to go any further. You guys get the hint. These are divers places. All of these, 212 of them within less than the last 48 hours. I don't know if you guys listen, excuse me, to the YouTube channel, Mary Greeley. Excuse me. Give me just a second. I got a cough. Okay. The YouTube channel, Mary Greeley, she is a great one to follow. I'll put her link in the description if I remember. She's been covering the events taking place at Yellowstone right now. I thought it was interesting. She put out a video, I think it was yesterday, stating that after the Haitian earthquake and after the Alaskan earthquake, after both of them, that the threat had dropped in Yellowstone. She was putting out word that it was definitely building. She expected something to happen. But now that these two have released some of the energy, she's seen the threat for Yellowstone has gone down a bit. She hasn't lifted the threat, but it's definitely she's seeing less activity there in the last 24 hours. So let's see. I'm gonna put this up here. This is a little bit better of a map to show you in the last 7 days. I'm going to leave it down like this. In the last 7 days, these are the number of the earthquakes that have taken place. Up in Alaska, you see where there's been 7. China and Russia, 4s and 5s. We've got 7 of them. Now that's not that's not what it registered on the Richter scale. That is how many earthquakes and aftershocks have taken place. You'll see I'll put a little bit down in the Southern Ocean, the Southern Atlantic Ocean. 124 earthquakes have happened in the last 7 days. Oops, lost my place. Haiti has received 21 earthquakes since it happened. And if you notice, the Ring of Fire is what surrounds the Pacific. They call it the Ring of Fire. And you'll see that it's been an uptick for a number of years. I'll show you that. Here's another one, another map that we can take a look at that shows what's going on. This is all. What I'm going to do is I'm going to filter it out by magnitude. I'm going to filter out 7.0s, and you can see the number of 7.0s in the last 30 days. 8.0s, 6, 5s. I'm going to pull it up for the last 48 hours for us to take a look. And this is in the last 48 hours. In the last 2 days, 7.0s. You see Haiti's over here. Well, actually, why do they show it twice? Okay, we're going to do this way. Don't pay attention. So Haiti, Alaska. We have 5s, 4s, 3s. Again, I'm going to put all the links in the description for you guys. Haiti earthquake, toll of magnitude 7.2 earthquake soars to 1,297 people. But again, this was earlier today, and I think it's gone past 2. I think it's gone past 2,000. All right, I have a video that I'm going to play you guys. There's no sound, so we're just going to listen, just going to watch it here. This is drone footage captures devastation aftermath of Haiti earthquake as the death toll soars. It's kind of, I mean, you don't get the same feel of it. I mean, it doesn't really look different, but it flies down. Now, before I came live, I talked to Dave on the phone. He knows so much about Haiti. It's amazing. This is in Lakai right here. It's pronounced Lakai, Haiti. Now, Dave said that there is no building codes down there. You find the materials. Basically, you just salvage materials and you build your house. There's no building codes down there. So there's nothing to protect them. Nothing to protect them from when the collapse happens, unlike in other countries. Guys, Haiti truly is a third world country. It truly is. Like I said, these people have nothing. When you take away what little they have. And Dave mentioned something when he was down when he was down there, and he said that they are the happiest people. They're poor, but they don't even know they're poor because they have nothing really to compare it to. They are always smiling. They're always gracious. So, yeah. I went online to try to look for a reputable place to make donations, and I'm going to be honest with you, I couldn't find one, because knowing what happened in 2010, knowing what happened with the money and how it was mismanaged, and you know, these workers went to this country to help them, and all they did was make things worse. I'm going to try to find the missionaries that Dave went there with. I'm going to see if they're even around. I know he tried to find the pastor that he went down there with recently, actually. Wanted to see if he was still alive. I guess he was quite old when they went there. But I'm going to see if I could try to find them for us to do donations down there. I would much rather do it to an actual reputable mission and find out if they're even going to go there. I don't even know if they're even going to go there. But if they know somebody that the donations can go directly to the people. I don't want to go to the Red Cross, because you know what, 2 cents of every dollar goes to the charity that you're giving to. Red Cross also is run by, you know, the elite. So I mean, I'm not going to put another penny in these murderous Luciferians who, I don't give a crap about us anyways. I'm going to try to find that for us, though. All right. So this isn't the only thing that has happened in the last couple of days. I don't know if you guys have heard about the underwater volcano that erupted off the coast of Japan. The Fukutoku Akinoba volcano on Friday, which was 2 days ago, erupted. The Japan Meteorological Agency, the JMA, reported that a submarine eruption occurred in Fukutoku Okinawa volcano at 6:20 local time on Friday. Satellite images from the Hamawari confirmed a steam and gas plume that extended to the west of the volcano. The height of the plume is unknown and was not reported yet, but from available imagery seems to be of tens to hundreds meters above sea level. The Fukutoku Akinoba is a submarine volcano 5 kilometers northwest of the small pyramidical island of Minami Iwo in the Japanese volcano island chain. Eruptions and submarine hydrothermal activity often cause water discoloration in the area, and during eruptions, the volcano has built several temporary new islands. We saw that back in the 1980s. I think that was the most recent where this happened. Again, this goes with the earthquakes in diverse places. And the Consortium for Ocean Leadership actually caught the eruption in real time. I cannot play it because it's through the Washington Post. And I've outdone my freebies for the Washington Post. But yeah. What else do I got for us? I think that's it. All right. So if you guys aren't utilizing RSOE or Ventusky, or however you want to pronounce it, I say Ventusky. It's actually Ventusky. The Ventusky map. This is where, if you when I go live and I report on hurricanes coming in, this is what we generally watch. This is the map we generally watch here. We got Linda out here, we got Fred, and this one's Grace. It's not a hurricane, it's a tropical depression at the moment, or tropical storm, I think it is, right now. So it has not gone up into, it's been downgraded. It was a hurricane, now it's a tropical storm. But this is going to come right, there we go, right over Port-au-Prince, right over this little arm that sticks out here. And add insult to injury, guys. With the devastation that's there right now, we're going to see mudslides. We're going to see people that are more lives will probably be lost due to exposure, because these people don't have shelter to take now. Their shelters have been destroyed, and the threat of these aftershocks that keep coming. Any buildings in this area are unstable. So if the people take shelter during the storm and go into these already unstable buildings and they collapse, and we have more loss of life. Guys, say prayers for not just Haiti, but everybody. I mean, Alaska and Russia and all these people that are affected by this craziness, this chaos. Somebody mentioned HAARP. You know, I did a little bit of research, and we know that they have earthquake machines. And actually, which I think is interesting, because the name of the earthquake machine is called Tesla's oscillator. As the Tesla's oscillator is known as the earthquake machine, which I think is pretty interesting, because a lot of the technology that they're using on us comes from him. But that's what it's called, Tesla's oscillator. Go ahead and look that up. I'll put the link in the description. I have pulled up right now for it. So. All right, guys, that's all I got. Like I said, I didn't think I was going to get through this without crying, but I did. I before I even hit that live button, I went into prayer and I asked that I not. I did a little bit, but I apologize for that. All right, we'll be back tomorrow night, 8 o'clock. And I don't know what we're going to cover yet, but we're going to keep an eye on what's going on. I do have a few things in mind. Still going to be doing, getting on that whistleblower for the FEMA pastor. Still going to be getting on David Zublik. And I'm probably tomorrow during the day, if I remember, I'm going to give Ralph Epperson a call. And I'm going to call him on the phone and see if he wants to come on and talk with us a little bit about his book, The New World Order, and about what he thinks about the events that are happening today in relation to the books that he has written. And back in the 80s, wrote these books in the 80s. So I'm going to try to get him. I'm going to give him a call and see if he's available. Might even be tomorrow night. He may, because he's the type of guy that's like, you know what, let's do it right now. When I call him, I'm free right now. God love him. Oh, he's just one of my favorite people to talk to. So keep an eye out here. I will post the link, or I will post the live stream. And if I do have Ralph Epperson on, believe me, you guys will know. All right. Prayers for Haiti. Prayers for all of us. There's people that are in the chat right now who are not feeling very well. My thoughts, my prayers still go out to you. You know that. Hope you feel better. And until next time, guys, remember, eyes open, absolutely no fear.